Good evening. My name is Giovanni Cepeda and I attend Hayward High School. Tonight I am introducing another Hayward High School farmer, Mayor of Hayward, Mark Salinas. Mayor Salinas is a native son of Hayward. He was born at St. Rose Hospital and raised in the Schaefer Park neighborhood in South Hayward. After he graduated from Hayward High School and attended Chabot College and participated in the Puente Project, he transferred from Chabot College to San Francisco State University. There, he earned a bachelor's degree in La Raza Studies and a master's degree in Educational Administration and Public Policy Studies. For 23 years, Mayor Salinas has taught history and ethnic studies at Chabot College, helping students understand their communities and prepare for leadership in the world around them. His commitment to Hayward also led him to public service. He was elected to the Hayward City Council in 2010, and in 2022 was elected mayor, becoming the first Latino mayor in the city's 148-year history. As mayor, he focused on strengthening public safety, expanding housing opportunities, supporting local businesses, and advancing his vision of Hayward as an education city, a place where students, families, and neighborhoods can grow and thrive together. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Mark Salinas.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me? This is, so first of all, let's clap it up for Giovanni. And we can clap it up again because he's a Hayward High farmer. We're all the Hayward High farmers in the room, right? First of all, I wanted to welcome everyone tonight. And before we get started, I wanted to thank the Hayward Unified School District. I wanted to thank the superintendent's office and the school board for letting us use this facility again. And so let's give the school district a big round of applause for their work. And this building, of course, was built because of a tax measure that we all voted for. And so as we can see that when we step up and we support the community, we get beautiful facilities like this. So thank you very much. What I want to do tonight is begin this evening with introducing some elected officials. And I know some were running late and some may have snuck in before we put the final list. So if I miss you, I apologize. I will make that up. But first, I'd like to introduce to you Mayor Pro Tem George Syrup. There's George Syrup right here. Councilmember Angela Andrews is sitting right here in the front. Councilmember Ray Bonilla. Where's Ray Bonilla? Council members at Menyo. Where's Menyo at? He's usually back there. Alameda County Supervisor Elisa Marquez is right there. We have BART Director, Dr. Rayburn, Robert Rayburn. Where's Dr. Rayburn? Right there. We have the GM and CEO of AC Transit, Salvador Llamas, Salvador. Where's Salvador at? Oh, there he is. Okay. Welcome. Thank you. Of course, we have members from the school board here. We have the school trustee and school board clerk, Dr. April El Jarudi is here. Hopefully I said that right. Trustee Austin Bruckner Carrillo Also, it's always good to have her here, Freddie Davis, the president of the NAACP. Freddie, how are you? You owe me a picture tonight, Freddie. We said we would do that. Next, we have they've been wonderful partners with us. And I always say that HARD is the city's park district. So HARD Director Paul Hodges, Mr. Hodges, Director Hodges, and then Director Lamnin. Where's Director Lamnin? I know she's here. From Chabot, Las Positas Community College District, Trustee Maria Heredia. Maria, there she is, right there. Of course, my boss's boss, Dr. Cooks, President Cooks from Chabot College is right there. Of course, the Superintendent of Hayward Unified, Chen Wu Fernandez. Chen, there she is right here. And then, of course, the city's executive team. The Hayward City Council, we directly hire three employees. The first one is our city manager, Jen Ott, and I just saw Jen Ott right here. Our city attorney, Michael Lawson, right there. And then, of course, our city clerk, Miriam Lins. Thank you, Miriam, for being here. And then this is our executive team, our assistant city manager, Mary Thomas. Mary, our police chief, Brian Matthews. Our fire chief, Ryan Hamry, Chief Hamry, there he is. Our director of public works, Alex Amiri. Our director of development services, Sarah Bowser, I just saw Sarah. Our director of information and technology, Nathaniel Roush. Nathaniel. Our director of our library, where's our director of our library? John T. Adelman. Our director of maintenance services, Todd Roman, I saw Todd here. Director of our HR, Ian Texon, was Ian, and then our finance director, new finance director, Deanna Hilbrand. The city of Hayward is the 6th largest city in the Bay Area, and we're the 3rd largest city in Alameda County. We're a dynamic, diverse community. And we're powered by a strong network of public agencies, nonprofit partners, local businesses, educators, and neighborhood leaders, all working together to ensure that government delivers for every family in every neighborhood. That collaboration is our strength. It's how we solve problems, it's how we innovate, and it's how we build a city that works for everyone. And if you don't know them, I would encourage you, especially if there's, I don't know if I have some students in here, I was hyping this up in my classes, especially for students that are in the room, if you don't know them, introduce yourselves to them, meet them after the program, and make sure you know who they are. This is my 4th State of the City address, and you know, each year this tradition becomes more and more meaningful. The State of the City is our opportunity to speak with one another and take an honest look where we are, what we've accomplished together, and to chart a clear course for where we're headed next. Tonight, I will be speaking candidly about the challenges before us, but most importantly, I will outline concrete, actionable steps we are taking to move the city forward with focus, and with discipline, and with accountability. Last spring, the City Council learned that our financial position was not as strong as we believed. That moment required serious reflection and decisive leadership. For months, and this is true, for months, I have thought deeply about how to begin this address this month. So here's the truth. The state of the city is strong. I can say that. And every month, we're getting stronger. Every month. Our financial position is steadily improving. Our strategies are working. Our oversight is disciplined. And our commitment to transparency is front and center in every room and in every discussion that we have. I can say with great confidence that this council is prepared for the road ahead. We have a strong executive team who are serious, thoughtful professionals, who are experts in their respective fields, and together we're aligned, we're focused, and we're committed to doing the hard work required to protect this city's long-term stability. As for the council, this council is a strong council. It is transparent. It is not afraid to ask tough questions. It is professional. And we take our responsibility to you and to the future of this city very, very serious. So of course, I'm going to lead off with the budget. On November 18, 2025, our then interim city manager presented a mid-year budget revision. This revision was necessary because we were facing a serious budget deficit. When we adopted the budget in on June 17, 2025, we anticipated an $8.9 million deficit in the general fund that pays for core municipal services. And we planned to make adjustments in the fall. That level of shortfall, $8.9 million over a $200 million general fund budget, was manageable, and we had a strategy to address it. We did, we do. But as we conducted deeper analysis of the numbers, we uncovered more structural issues. In total, those issues expanded our deficit to $26.4 million, and it continued to grow. To finally balance the budget for the current 2026 fiscal year that ends in June, June 30th, the council eliminated a $31 million budget gap. Looking ahead to the 26-27 fiscal year, we are confronted with a $32.6 million shortfall. So the question that is on everyone's mind is, how did we get here? What happened? The explanation is straightforward. The city spent more than it received. That's what happened. And there were several factors that contributed to this. The first one is that revenues came in lower than projected. 2, overtime costs were under budgeted for many years. 3, the city expanded staffing using one-time funds to support new programs and services. 4, we stepped in to save St. Rose Hospital, saving our city's critical healthcare facility. And we purchased the movie theater property on B Street. We did this to prevent another long-term vacant and empty building in downtown Hayward. 5th, we made significant investments in our workforce. In 2024, the council approved pay increases for all employees. Based on the financial data and staff recommendations at the time, those decisions appeared responsible. With what we know today, it is clear that we could not afford them. There's also a much bigger, broader context worth mentioning tonight. It's the cumulative impact of the past 6 years that have had on our budget. When COVID-19 struck in 2020, the shutdown created immediate and severe financial strain to everyone. A couple of weeks after the national shutdown, George Floyd was murdered, and this sparked a national demand for justice, accountability, and more public services from the city. Neighborhoods called. They called public comment. They called the city. They emailed the city. And we stepped up. We never said no. We stepped up and we did it. We launched COVID-19. We launched COVID-19 testing sites. We supported small businesses. We created a navigation center for unhoused residents. We re-examined aspects of public safety. We established the HEART program that deployed specially trained police officers, firefighter EMTs, social workers to respond to mental health and social crisis calls. I was on the council at that time, and we listened to the neighborhoods, and we acted. We did it. We acted because these programs reflected the city's values. This is what we believe in. But today, we must also reconcile these programs with our fiscal reality. So what are we doing now? First and foremost, and I want to be very clear about this, first and foremost, this council, all 7 of us that are here, we are taking responsibility. We're not hiding from this. We're not running from this. We're not talking about this. And we're all committed to fixing it. We're going to fix this. And fixing this will take discipline, and it will likely take a year or 2, probably. So here's our path moving forward, and this is what we're working on. First, we hired a permanent, experienced city manager and finance director. Second, we're negotiating concessions with all of our labor partners. 3, we're increasing the transfer of Measure C funds into the general fund to pay for existing Measure C daily operations. We're taking Measure C funds to pay for existing Measure C daily operations. 4, we are realigning department budgets to accurately reflect staffing levels and rising costs. We are reducing temporary positions, tightening overtime controls, and maintaining strong vacancy management. The city council has reduced its own salaries. All of our executive team have taken a 4% compensation reduction. All departments are reducing their budgets by at least 5% while focusing on core services. And in partnership with our labor partners, we are working to identify an additional 3.5%, approximately $6.7 million in personnel savings. Our new city manager, who began on December 8th, voluntarily accepted a 4% salary reduction after we signed her contract. Last month, the council held a special meeting where the city manager presented a strategy to balance our budget for fiscal year 2027, which begins this July 1st. In addition, our council budget and finance committee is advancing stronger fiscal policies and internal controls to ensure that this never, ever happens again. But we still have a lot of work ahead of us. However, this council is approaching the budget with clarity, with transparency, and to be quite honest with you, with a great deal of honesty. We're not hiding from this. And I want to assure all of you this, and those who are watching and those who will be watching this later. Throughout this process, the city of Hayward continues to deliver high-quality services our community expects. When you call 911, police officers and firefighters and EMTs will respond in under 3.5 minutes. When you submit a request through Access Hayward, we'll respond within 48 hours. When you come to City Hall for a business license or a passport, you'll be served. We are confronting this budget deficit head on, and we are not compromising our commitment to public safety, to services, and accountability. And as a council and as an executive team, that's how we move forward. And so now I want to focus on public safety. Excuse me. For as long as I've had the honor of serving as on the council, neighbors have been pretty clear and pretty consistent about one priority, and that's public safety. Year after year in citywide surveys, you have told us that you value safe neighborhoods and that you expect the city council to make public safety top priority. So much so, you've backed up that expectation by repeatedly voting yes on tax measures to ensure that we have the resources to deliver. I am pleased to report that today, the council has honored that commitment. Today, 80% of the city's budget is dedicated to public safety. 80%. That is a significant investment, and it reflects your priorities. I'm also pleased to report that crime in 2005 significantly decreased. Just curious, how many of you received the Stack or the city newsletter? Weekly or bi-weekly or however, okay. Because if you do, then you would have seen last week's report on public safety. In fact, just a couple of days ago, the other day, there was another email sent out about this. And the headline said it all, that criminal activity declined significantly in Hayward in 2025. That is great news. Crime is down. Let me share a few data points that I think that are really important and resonate with neighborhoods and families here in the city. Vehicle thefts are down 44%. Theft from automobiles are down 31%. Vandalism down 30%. Non-residential burglaries down 27%. Residential burglaries down 14%, respectfully. Robberies are down 21%. That progress didn't happen by accident. Under leadership of our chief of police and the men and women of the Hayward Police Department, we made investments in technology, we redesigned patrol beats, and we launched new patrol shift programs to better align resources with community needs. Today, the department is using modern tools to respond more efficiently, solve crimes more effectively, and collaborate at regional strategy tables to address issues that do not stop at the city borders, such as retail theft, sideshows, crimes against seniors, and other valuable populations. And I know it's dark, but I did sneak in Alameda County DA, Ursula Dixon. Welcome. So I want to, so crime is down, and I think this is good news, and I think this is honoring the commitment that we have made as a council to the city. But I also want to speak directly to an issue that has generated a lot of concern, not just here in the city, but throughout the Bay Area. Like many of you, I watch the news, and when I see examples of reckless and careless implementation of otherwise valuable technology, like you, I share your frustration. Good tools can be undermined by poor oversight. That's why we must be both supportive and vigilant with technology. License plate reader technologies such as flock safety, along with drone deployment, are powerful public safety tools. Here in Hayward, they have helped us apprehend serious offenders. Our drone program has significantly enhanced officer safety and, in some cases, have saved lives. But I want to be clear about this. Support for technology does not mean blind acceptance. It means responsible governance. The city council, the city manager, our city attorney, our chief of police, we regularly monitor our contract with Flock. We regularly review our agreements, our legal authorities, our privacy protections, and our operational policies. We remain in direct communication with company representatives, and we continue to hold them and ourselves accountable. Public safety and civil liberties are not competing values in the city. In fact, they go hand in hand. And I know the city attorney is sitting right over here, and I'm probably on the phone with the city attorney almost daily about questions about Flock, and when I hear it in the news or read it in the paper. I wanted to say something to the Hayward police officers, to the men and women of the Hayward Police Department. And I want to say this on behalf of the City Council. I want to say this on behalf of the executive team. And I'd also like to say this on behalf of the city. Thank you for embracing change. For approximately 25 years, patrol beats and shifts remain largely the same. This year, you've agreed to experiment with a new structure. This structure aligns more closely with our council member and voter districts. It improves service delivery and will ultimately save the city money. Change is not easy in any profession. Trust me, I know. It is not easy. And your willingness to adapt demonstrates your commitment to this city and to the budget situation that we're in today. And for this, the council, we really do want to say thank you for embracing that change. Here in Hayward, public safety is not a slogan. It's not. It's a partnership. It's built on trust. It's built on investment, accountability, and continuous improvement. And together, we are making measurable progress. And I want to turn to our firefighters and our EMTs and paramedics. Just 115 days ago today, Ryan Hamry was appointed as the 12th Fire Chief of the City of Hayward. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Chief Hamry a big round of applause. Where you are? Where you at, Chief? Where's the fire chief? Oh, there, you're right in front of me. You're not wearing a uniform. Congratulations, and welcome to the executive team. While Hayward may have a small town feel, the work of our fire department tells a very different story about size, strength, and the responsibility of our city. Last year alone, our firefighters responded to 19,259 calls for service. That's 52 calls every single day and more than 2 calls every hour. Behind each of those calls is a neighbor in need, and behind each response is a highly trained professional firefighter, paramedic. Hayward firefighters just don't protect Hayward. They also support other communities across California. In 2018, they were deployed to assist the Woolsey fire. In 2025, they answered the call again by assisting in the Eaton fire, and then traveling to Los Angeles to help battle the Palisades fire. And when disaster strikes, Hayward shows up, whether it's here in Hayward or whether it's across the state. But preparedness is more than response. Preparedness is more than response. It's about prevention. Under Chief Hammer's leadership, the department successfully secured a $212,000 grant to aggressively expand our vegetation management efforts through the Chipping and Residential Assistance Program. This investment reduces fire risk, strengthens our neighborhoods, and helps protect homes before an emergency occurs or happens. But preparedness also means empowering our residents. Last year, 110 additional community members completed training and joined our Community Emergency Response Team, CERT. That's 110 more neighbors trained in coordination, communication, resource management, and rapid decision-making under pressure. These volunteers stand ready to support logistics and provide critical assistance in any major emergency. Hayward may embrace a small town feel or a small town spirit, but our public safety operations reflects a reality of a very, very dynamic city. We face challenges of a medium to large city, and we meet them head on with professionalism, and investment, and of course, in partnership. We will continue listening to our neighbors. We will continue strengthening preparedness, and we will continue working every day to ensure that Hayward remains one of the safest places for our children, our families, and our future. Roads and transportation. If you live or work along the Mission and Garin area, and I see Mr. Mindel over there, along the industrial corridor, Winton Avenue, D Street, Gadding Road, you have seen progress firsthand. In 2025 alone, we have resurfaced 17 miles of roadway. Thanks to the leadership of Director Amiri and our Public Works team and voters, our Pavement Condition Index, our PCI, has steadily improved from 69 in 2019 to 76 in 2024. And for those who don't know, 0 is a dirt road. 100 is a brand new road, right? So we're in good shape. That places Hayward among the top cities in Alameda County for road quality. The other two Alameda County cities with better CPIs than Hayward is Emeryville and Danville. That's it. And then us, right? So I think we've done a pretty good job. We made a promise in Measure C, and that was to invest in our streets. And our PCI is a great indicator of that success. But I want to speak to something even more important than pavement, and that's safety. In February, 3 separate traffic incidents claimed 3 lives. A first grader from one of our elementary schools was also seriously injured. On behalf of the entire City Council and our city's leadership, I want to express our deepest condolences to the families who are grieving. Our hearts really are with them. These tragedies have shaken our community, and they demand more than words. They demand that we improve. While investigations are still ongoing, I want to say this. Too many drivers are speeding. We see it everywhere. Too many drivers are driving recklessly. We see it every day. And too many drivers are ignoring laws every day. Our streets were designed for a very different time. They're too wide and they encourage unsafe speeds. Reckless driving, as we know and as we have seen, reckless driving puts everyone at risk. Drivers, pedestrians, and especially bicyclists who deserve safe lanes, protection, safe lanes and protection whether they ride for work, school, and daily life. Hayward, if you don't know, is a Vision Zero city. Our goal is 0 traffic fatalities. Not some, but 0. That work is already underway on our high injury network streets, including A Street, B Street, the Loop, and Tennyson Road. Some changes that you see are pilot, some are permanent. Whatever the case may be, all of our projects are focused on one goal, and that is safety and saving lives. But we need your support. We really do. We need your support out there. Safer streets or safer street designs, they work. They really do. Slower speeds, they save lives. They really do. And I don't think something like Vision Zero is not too much to ask for a city that is growing. We're growing. And I don't think having an expectation of 0 fatalities and 0 accidents is that high of an expectation. But I do have some good news. And this year, or last year, we launched a program for kids. One example of building a safer future is Hayward Rides. With support from the California Air Resources Board, CARB, Hayward became the first city in the nation to launch a large-scale student bicycle initiative. In partnership with Bike East Bay and Eden Youth Center, we are distributing 2,000 bicycles and safety gear to Hayward middle school students and high school students. This program reduces traffic, lowers emissions, promotes health, and most importantly, supports safer streets. As we redesign our roads to protect everyone, not just cars, Hayward Rides shows what's possible when we invest in the next generation. But I do have some exciting news for seniors. Who are the senior citizens in the room? Just out of curiosity, where are all the seniors in the room? We have a senior here. We have a senior there. I see Mr. Garcia over there. Okay, we have, is that Felix Galavis? I see Felix Galavis over there. So I have great news for seniors. You ready? Yeah. Hayward Rides is working on including seniors. We're going to put senior citizens on bicycles in Hayward. Yes, yes, we can clap that up. I was waiting for we break the ice and start clapping. But program details are coming. We will, Director Amiri has promised me we're going to put folks on bikes by the end of the year. Better pavement matters, but safer streets matter more. And together, we will build a city where every family feels safe walking and biking and driving. Affordable housing and homelessness. Another priority neighbors rank at the top of concern is housing affordability. Over the years, through survey data, residents have told us that they want more homes that are affordable at every income level. As someone who serves alongside county supervisors and fellow mayors on regional boards, I am proud to represent a city that is not just talking about housing, but is producing it. We're producing it right here in this city. Yeah. Hayward is committed to building housing for all income levels, and we really are doing it right now, today. Last year, the California Department of Housing and Community Development designated Hayward as a pro-housing jurisdiction, right? And that's big. And the reason why that's big is because out of the 14 cities in Alameda County, only 4 other cities in Alameda County hold this designation. So what does pro-housing designation mean? What does it mean? It means that Hayward produces housing at every income level. We're doing it. We're preserving existing housing stock so families can begin their path to home ownership right here in Hayward. And it means maintaining strong protections for renters. At Grand and A Street in downtown Hayward, Hayward Senior Commons is nearing completion. This project has 100 senior units, and although it's still under construction, this particular property is 100% fully leased. This year, La Vista Residential above Mission Boulevard in Tennyson will deliver 174 rental homes for families. That's 174 families that will be able to move into an affordable unit here in Hayward. And soon, 10 more families will begin their home ownership journey in 10 brand new Habitat for Humanity homes at A Street and Walnut in downtown in the Burbank neighborhood. So when you hear conversations about affordability across the Bay Area, you can confidently say that Hayward is a pro-housing city. And we really are doing our part. We really are. And now I want to turn to the unhoused, the homeless. And I want to report on our city's response to our city's most vulnerable neighbors. Our approach to homelessness is not simply a policy choice, it is a moral responsibility. How we care for the unhoused, the sick, and those in crisis is a test of who we are as a city. Local government exists for moments like this. And when our neighbors need help, we must respond thoughtfully, responsibly, and in partnership with our community. In January, Hayward participated in the annual point in time count. This is a nationwide census of individuals experiencing homelessness, and the reports haven't been published yet, but when the reports come out, we'll certainly get that out. But while we wait for the results, we are not stopping the work that we are currently doing. Our navigation center operates around the clock, connecting individuals to housing, healthcare, and supportive services. In 2025, the center served 124 individuals. 74 successfully exited the program, and 83% of those 74 individuals moved to a positive housing destination, a positive destination. In other words, stable housing, family reunification, or a long-term supportive placement. So the City Council, the City Council is currently reviewing program models to strengthen and sustain this work. And I'm hopeful, I really am, I am hopeful that we're able to continue this critical program so individuals can receive the support they need and so that they can move forward. We're also investing in innovative solutions like Regis Village. This project will provide housing and services for up to 200 individuals whose needs fall between the criminal justice system and the acute psychiatric hospitalization. These individuals who need structured support, medical attention, attention, and stability. BACS will operate this program, and with them, they bring decades of experience in behavioral health and housing support. I have 2 reports regarding St. Rose Hospital in La Familia. First, St. Rose Hospital has successfully transitioned to Alameda Health System. And I want to thank Alameda County Supervisor Elisa Marquez for stepping in. Wanted to thank California State Assembly Member Liz Ortega for stepping in. I also wanted to thank and the county for stepping in alongside the city of Hayward to make this transition possible. This would not have happened if we did not step in. Today, St. Rose is on a path to greater financial stability, and it continues to provide essential health care to the city. Second, regarding La Familia has partnered with St. Rose physicians to launch a crisis residential treatment and crisis stabilization service. These programs will serve individuals who need urgent mental health support but do not require acute locked hospitalization. These examples are important because they are examples of Hayward building the continuum of care our region urgently needs. One of the unique strengths of Hayward is that we have the assets to respond to a wide range of community needs. We have housing production at scale, we have supportive services infrastructure, and we have a hospital that anchors regional health care access. These assets are too important to lose. We cannot lose them. And they're too important not to lead with. These are great assets, and we should be leading with them every day. Hayward is stepping up. We're building housing. We're protecting renters. We're responding to homelessness with compassion and structure. And we are strengthening our healthcare system. And I think that's great. That's who we are, and that's the direction that we're going to be moving into the future. So let's give St. Rose a big round of applause and Alameda Health System. Because it wasn't easy. It was not easy. Maintenance services. Our streets and maintenance department responds to approximately 10,600 Access Hayward requests every year. That's about 30 requests every single day. That number reflects both the scale of the work and the commitment of our community to speak up when something needs attention. A few weeks ago, a news reporter highlighted illegal dumping at one of our neighborhoods, right there on Mannon. The truth is, we see it. We see it. The council sees it. We see it. Mattresses, furniture, auto parts left on our streets. Yes, it's frustrating. It really is. And it's unacceptable. And in some cases, individuals are so emboldened that they're dumping debris in total plain sight, even when there's cameras watching. I had a neighbor on Facebook message me a video from her business of 2 guys emptying their flatbed onto in front of their shop. But here is what is equally true. While that is happening, this is also true. Hayward is not standing still, and Director Roman and his crews, they are absolutely not giving up. We are fighting this every single day. We have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, to combat illegal dumping. The city renegotiated our waste management contract to include bulky item pickups at apartment buildings. We provide free disposal vouchers for residents who want to take items directly to waste management. We strengthened our Keep Hayward Clean and Green Task Force into a citywide committee. And Measure C funds a strike team that removes debris from our streets quickly, and we host 3 or more Keep Hayward Clean and Green events a year to mobilize volunteers and resources. Access Hayward was built in direct response to issues like illegal dumping and a whole other host of things, but illegal dumping was one of the drivers for this app development. And the app works. It really does. We have to use it. When you report a problem, it gets into the system and will respond. I encourage every resident, every student to download it and use it. Technology is one of our strongest tools, and it's one of the strongest tools we have in keeping neighborhoods safe and clean. We sweep residential and commercial streets at least twice a month, and at the same time, we're also addressing long neglected infrastructure by repairing broken sidewalks across the city. So if you see a sidewalk that needs to be fixed, report it through Access Hayward, and we'll fix it. We'll fix it. The Streets Maintenance Department carries a significant responsibility, but maintaining a clean city cannot fall on staff and staff alone. It depends on our residents. It depends on our residents reporting issues, participating in Keep Hayward Clean and Green events, and joining me and some of the other council members, if not all of us, in the Adopt a Block program. Keeping Hayward clean takes all of us. City Hall, neighborhood leaders, volunteers, and residents who take pride in their street. When we work together, we protect our neighborhoods, we strengthen community pride, and ensure that every part of our city reflects the best of who we are. And so what I'd like to do is let's give a big round of applause to maintenance and street services, Todd Roman and his crew. These guys, you know, when on Mondays and Wednesdays, when I take off to class in the morning, I have an 8 o'clock class out in Las Positas. When I take off to class, I always run into your crews 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning over at the coffee shop, getting ready and mobilizing and to go out. So these guys get up early, they start early, and they work late. Economic development and amenities in our city. I want to begin this next report by acknowledging 3 particular individuals who work every day to strengthen Hayward's economic development future. Economic Development Officer Paul Nguyen and his team, Daniel Mao and Javier Castro. I don't know if they're here. Yes. Are they here? Yes, they're Paul. Their job is not simple. It's not easy. They recruit businesses. They guide entrepreneurs through the complexities of city processes, and they help transform an idea on paper into a storefront with an open sign turned on in the front. Their work is more than just permits. Their work is about partnerships. Last year was truly a banner year for Hayward entrepreneurs. Businesses like Nobi Ice Cream, Prettify Me Nail Salon, Tang Jip, Sourdough and Company, Curry Pizza House, Chipotle, OG Burger, Tram Coffee, and Storybook. They all chose Hayward to open up their business. Each one of these businesses invested in our retail corridors. They invested and strengthened our neighborhoods, the vitality of our neighborhoods. And most importantly, they've created jobs for all of our neighbors. These entrepreneurs are just not opening storefronts. They're building brands rooted here in Hayward. They are hiring locally. They are mentoring young workers. They are creating first jobs, second chances, and a long-term career growth for families right here in the city of Hayward. We also continue to see global innovation anchored in Hayward. Zoox, a leader in autonomous vehicle manufacturing, manufactures vehicles here in the city. And many of its employees live here in our neighborhoods. From small family residents, or from small family-owned restaurants to cutting-edge advanced manufacturing, Hayward's economy is diverse, it's dynamic, and it keeps growing. For years, neighbors have asked about job pathways and about how we can ensure that economic growth translates into opportunity for local families. Today, we can point to real progress. Small businesses and major employers are hiring Hayward residents. They're expanding careers. They're heightening career ladders. And they're positioning families to thrive here in our city. And that leadership has not gone unnoticed. At the League of California Cities annual conference, our economic development team received the prestigious Helen Putnam Award for the Tuition Assistance Program and the Higher Hayward Program. These programs have supported 600 students in pursuing higher education, workforce training, and industry-recognized certifications in growing sectors in the region. As of today, 20 students have already have secured fully benefited jobs earning, on average, $30 an hour. Right? That is what economic development looks like when it works. It's just not about ribbon cuttings. It's about career pathways. It's about sustainable wages. It's about ensuring that Hayward families can build stability and opportunity, not for today, but for their kids and the next generation. Hayward entrepreneurs are building more than businesses. They really are. They're building futures right here in our city. Today, nearly 1/3 of Hayward's population is made up of students. And while not every student at Moreau and Chabot and Cal State live within our city limits, they are certainly a part of our community. On any given school day, approximately 50,000 students are sitting in classrooms across the city, learning, growing, and preparing to shape the future. Education is not only a calling in this city. It's also a powerful economic engine. Conservatively, it represents a $600 million industry spanning students and families, faculty and staff, local businesses, and the many industries that support our schools, our colleges, and our universities. From preschool to graduate school, Hayward is truly a city of schools. And for our families, that means something very, very important. Opportunity lives in our city. This is why I have been extremely focused on advancing our vision as Hayward as an education city. Education City means that Hayward is a place where every child is supported from cradle to career with a clear, inclusive, and seamless educational pathway. From early learning and preschool through K-12 and into trade programs, community college, and university, every step is aligned to prepare young people for meaningful careers that can support families and strengthen our neighborhoods. Our vision includes that in Hayward, children grow up healthy, safe, and surrounded by opportunity, knowing that whether they pursue the trades or higher education, a future of stability and success are all within reality or within reach. This vision is just not words. It is the work that we are doing, and we're doing quite successfully. The Education City Partnership has brought together a whole group of people. Our city manager, the president of Cal State East Bay, the president of Chabot College, the superintendent of the school district, the superintendent of ROP, the president and CEO of the Hayward Chamber of Commerce, the executive director of 4Cs, and if you don't know, 4Cs are the little guys, 0 to 10, or 0 to 5. Yes, 0 to 5. And it's also brought in HARD, and it's also brought in, of course, my good friend, school board trustee, and Professor April El Jarudi. We have been building together, we have been aligning institutions that have long served our community, and we've strengthened them through collaboration. And with this mission guiding our work, I am proud to report real progress for families and students in the city. We have built trusted working relationships among all of our educational leaders, and Hayward is becoming regionally recognized as an education city. We're talking about it. We're acknowledging it, right? And that's an important thing. We're all sitting in a room at a table talking about school and schooling. That has never happened before, ever. We have hosted our first Education City Symposium, generating ideas for future development and innovation. We've launched Hayward Rides and successfully advocated for the expansion, and I know Supervisor Marquez and I, we made the case. We successfully advocated for the expansion of the Alameda County Transportation Commission Student Transit Pass program that now all Hayward Unified 7th through 12th grade students have access to free transit. Free. Supervisor Marquez and I sit on the ACTC commission together. President Sandine also launched a guaranteed admissions program for all Hayward High School graduates to Cal State East Bay. This program, yes, Dr. President Sandine, yes. I wrote this line specifically for you, President Sandine. This program sends a clear message to our students. You're admitted and you belong here, right? You're admitted and you belong here. You have a chair at Cal State East Bay. You graduate from any one of our Hayward high schools, you got a chair up at Cal State. Cal State has also entered an agreement with Life West Chiropractic College, which will soon be located at Cal State East Bay, expanding professional pathways to health sciences. And I would be remiss if I did not report this. And Madam President, I'm going to steal this one too, if you don't mind. Cal State East Bay and President Sandine caught the eye of the largest philanthropist on the planet, right? And was awarded a $50 million grant gift from Mackenzie Scott, right? $50 million. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Don't spend it here in Hayward.
Yes, yes. These are great things. As for AC Transit, they've partnered with Chabot College, and I saw Dr. Cooks. I don't know if Dr. Cooks is still here, but I saw him sitting over there. As for AC Transit, they partnered with Chabot College to prepare students to maintain and operate the next generation of transit technology and creating direct workforce pipelines. And I know the AC Transit director is here. And through the partnership between, and this is important, and I know I see Trustee Bruckner Carrillo is here, through the partnership between the City of Hayward, the Hayward School District, and the Covenant House, California, we're developing a facility that will support students newly emancipated from foster care and other young people pursuing education and career pathways here in Hayward, with supportive services and living situations. Right? Housing, education, and career pathways. That is what an education city is about. In a city with so many schools and with so much talent, and this much potential, Hayward we're all working together. Working together is not optional. It's not optional. It's absolutely essential. When we align preschool with K-12, when we connect high schools with community college and university, when we integrate trades, workforce training, and business partnerships, we create something very, very powerful that not a lot of cities have. We have it, a seamless pathway from cradle to career. And that's happening right here in the city of Hayward. I want to highlight one final department that embodies the values of this city, and that's the Hayward Public Library and Community Learning Center. Before I do, I want to share something very personal. My academic training, if you don't know, my academic training is in ethnic studies and in La Raza studies from San Francisco State University, the home of the only college of ethnic studies in the United States. After graduate school, I began my teaching career in ethnic studies at Chabot College. Because of that training, and because that I was born right here in South Hayward and raised in South Hayward, I view the world through a race-conscious lens, fundamentally. I recognize how institutions shape opportunity and how communities that have historically been marginalized continue to fight for visibility, dignity, and voice. One of the lessons from ethnic studies is that knowledge is never neutral. Knowledge shapes power, belonging, and the stories from the systematically excluded matter. They matter. Our stories, our histories matter. And that is why libraries matter so much today. Under the leadership of our library director, John T. Adelman, the Hayward Public Library stands at the front lines of defending diversity, equity, and inclusion. Libraries are among the few public spaces where every resident, no matter their background, no matter their language, their income, or their identity, they can walk through the front door and know that they belong. Our library system has evolved into something much greater than shelves of books. Last year alone, the Hayward Public Library hosted more than 2,500 programs with over 50,000 participants. These programs affirm our families through events honoring Black History Month, Women's History Month, Asian American and Pacific Islander History Month, LGBTQ+, Pride Month, and Latino History Month, to name a few. These are not just events on a calendar. They are affirmations that every story in our city deserves to be seen, heard, and respected. I want to thank our library staff for what my La Raza Studies professor Jose Cuellar once described as cultural work, the work of protecting knowledge, uplifting community voices, and creating spaces where we can all learn from one another. And the library's impact reaches far beyond cultural programming. For example, the library operates a diaper distribution program that addresses a very real challenge many families face, and that's diaper insecurity. On the second Thursday of every month, families come to the library to receive diaper kits. But what happens there is much more than diapers. It brings families together. It connects parents to resources. It promotes early childhood literacy. And it reminds family that their city cares for them, cares about them. That's the power of a modern public library. Libraries defend freedom to learn. They affirm our diversity. And they respond to our community's needs.
You only care 5 days a week.
This week, we celebrate a milestone in our city. It's the 150th anniversary of our city of Hayward. Let's give Hayward a big round of applause. Moments like this invite reflection. They remind us that a city is just not streets and buildings and institutions. A city is built from hopes and struggles, dreams of all the people who call it home. I often think about my own family when I reflect on Hayward's history. I think about my father and his 2 brothers who came to the city alone in 1954 as pre-teens to begin a new chapter of their lives. I frequently imagine how he might feel today knowing that his son now has the privilege of serving as the mayor of the city that helped shape our family's history. Hayward's civic story stretches back to 1876, when the first city leadership was organized with trustees like Leander Lincoln, T.A. Cunningham, Joseph Pimentel, J.D. Austin, and led by President John Monzet. 54 years later, in 1930, the city established its first legislative body with a mayor and city council. The council members were Robert Kozel, J.W. Wilbur, Frank Cunha, and Lester Perry, and the mayor was Arthur Manter. Since those early days, our city has grown and changed in remarkable ways. What was once a small agricultural community has expanded into the diverse city we all know today. Traditions have also evolved, like the Row Ranch Rodeo. Which took place, many folks don't know this, but Row Ranch Rodeo used to take place down B Street, and it would end up at Burbank Elementary School. Today, the rodeo, as we all know, is at Row Ranch off of Highway 580, and even City Hall. The old City Hall, we all know, but we even have a new City Hall. I mean, it was built across the street and 700 yards from the old City Hall, but it was still, we've come a long way. Though, through all of these changes, one thing has remained constant, and that is the people of Hayward. Every one of us carries a personal history in this city. Some of our stories are joyful. Some of our stories are complicated. Some reflect progress, and others remind us of the work that is still ahead. And today, our city council and our partners across government continue working to address past inequities and build a future where opportunity reaches every neighborhood. But the story of Hayward cannot be told by government alone. It can't be told by us alone. Those stories belong to all of you. So tonight, for those that are here and for those who will watch this, I want to invite everyone here to do something simple but pretty powerful. Take a moment and write down your earliest memory of Hayward. Maybe it's a childhood moment, maybe it's a first job, a school experience, a family tradition. If you feel comfortable sharing it, send it to me, email it to me. I will find a way, with our librarian, I will find a way to preserve and celebrate the lived experiences that make up the true history of this city. Because 150 years is more than a milestone. It's an invitation to reflect on who we are and how all of our stories connect. When we look across this room and across our neighborhoods and across the generations of families who have called Hayward home, we see a community that represents all of the complexities, the resilience, and the possibility of our world. And together, we will continue writing the next chapter of Hayward's history. On behalf of the Hayward City Council and on behalf of the city of Hayward, thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for being a part of our city's past and our present and our future. Thank you and good night. I told Dr. Walton I would do this. Dr. Walton, here we go, right here. Go Monarchs. Go Monarchs. All right.